What's up, everybody, and welcome to this week's Top 3. Today we are checking out 3 of the coolest new collector's playing card releases in the community. One of them isn't even out on the market yet, which means you're definitely going to want to stick around and see what we have in store for you. Steve, I have to say, man, I wasn't expecting too much with these decks, and I have to say, I think all 3 of them really blew me out of the water. Fully custom and absolutely beautiful. One of these is just an absolutely artistic banger of a deck, so I'm really excited to check these things out. But before we jump into it, no, that's not what I wanted. So let's jump right into it. Dude, I am so pumped for this week's decks. I really just cannot wait. So I'm gonna jump right into it and tell you what's coming in at number 3 here. This week at number 3, we have the Bicycle Retro Rockets from Penguin Magic. This deck is printed by USPCC on their premium crush stock. It is part of a 2,500 deck print run and retails for $12. Dude, this thing is fun. Ready to check this out?
Do it.
This thing is so fun. So, as you can see here, this Bicycle branded Penguin deck here has a beautiful kind of spacescape on the front there, showing a little bit of a galactic city. Really cool ad copy on both sides of the deck. That one right there reads designed and printed on Earth, which I think is a fun little throwback to the Ace Invaders deck and just kind of adds that little bit of whimsy to this deck. You have the standard Bicycle ad copy on the inside of the tuck flap there, which I always think is interesting. And then you can see this really cool mirrored back design here. This thing is detailed. There's a rocket ship on there, a whole little cityscape and everything. Obviously handles like a dream, being USPCC premium crush stock, and then you have these non-matching jokers here, both showing little fun ideas of spaceships. Rolling through the deck, we see some huge pips, which, Steve, I know you're a big fan of those fat pips there.
I love saying fat pip, dude.
And then we have some really interesting monochromatic court cards here, where mostly the black is black with a touch of red to it. Really interesting depth on the face as well. Then you get into these diamonds, man, and they just look good. And I love the way that they reduced the size of it indice, but it actually has kind of like a 3D feel to it. It almost looks like the numbers you'd see on like the side of like a NASCAR race car or something.
Yeah, that definitely brings in that retro feel.
It really does, man. These big pips, though, too, I think are just probably the highlight of this deck. They look so good. And then you obviously can see there the exploded aces as well, which just look fun. Similar in that monochromatic styling there, but really an interesting approach to a space deck, which you would think, you know, a lot of times space has vibrant colors and aliens and laser guns and all this. This is almost like the opposite approach, but it works so well. Being a collector's deck with a magic background to it, you have a double backer there, and then you actually have a color change double backer here, which teases a little bit of a blue version of this deck, which I gotta say, man, still looks hot.
Yeah, it definitely is cool. Big fan of blue.
Dude, no surprise there. Steve would love to see a blue one, but I gotta say, man, they really did a great job bringing the red to this one and making it contrast with those white borders and kind of the cream inlays to a lot of it as well.
Dude, I'm really surprised that they fit those pips in there. They actually looked really good for being so fat.
Considering they are so fat, they really aren't too clustered or crunched, which I thought was a really nice job on it for sure. That, I think, goes to show why having a good designer really can go a long way, because you may have an idea but no idea how to execute. But you get someone who's a good designer and knows how to execute, they will fit the biggest pips you could possibly want into those cards.
Yeah, no, agreed.
Dude. But before we jump into the second deck this week, make sure to like the video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to the channel.
And hit the bell.
Those cards.
Tell us what it is.
Dude. And I have to say, this is kind of a sleeper, I think. But coming in at number 2 this week, we have the Pixel Kingdom playing cards. This deck is printed by USPCC on their premium stock. It is part of a 1,000 deck print run and retails for $14 and change. It was retailing for 12 euros on its Kickstarter. Maybe a little bit higher on the retail market now, though. Dude, I gotta say, this one really surprised me. So let's jump right into it and check it out.
Let's do it.
So as you can see, this thing is coming on strong here with beautiful gold foil across the entire tuck and a really cool embossing with kind of a floral pattern to it. Pixel Kingdom across all sides on this, and then some nice ad copy on the bottom. It always irks me when a designer flips it on one side of it and then it throws me off. But I really love the use of the white to pop off of that red with the gold there.
Yeah, that gold and red is just bomb.
It is beautiful. Dude, 2 red decks in 1 week that you're liking. I think we might have broke Steve here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Coming into it, the cool thing about this deck and the whole premise behind it, it's actually a 16-bit video game style deck. So when you take a look at the back design and all of the indices, pips, and face cards, you can actually see that there's a little bit of like blocking to it to represent that pixelation there. Really, really European style jokers. Absolutely love the look of these. They are just fire, man.
Dude, I'm going to be totally honest. I'm not a fan of pixel decks, but this one's dope.
It really is, right? Like I said, this is a sleeper. I think a lot of people didn't know what to expect with this one, but they crushed it. You can see the single pip changed on all of the cards to represent the exploded ace of that suit, which I absolutely love. And then you get into this really kind of like fun Zelda-esque video game style for the court cards, which really just works spectacular, man.
Dude, nailed it with Zelda.
Yeah, that was the kind of the vibe I got from you when the text box pops up and they had the little close-up of the person there. But it really looks so clean. And on a close-up, you can see the kind of blocking and that pixelation. But obviously, from a little bit of a distance, you wouldn't even know it was there, which I think is also impressive in and of itself because they went for more of that 16-bit versus the 8-bit quality. So like even zooming in here on the indice, you can see that it's got a little bit of that rough edge showing that 16-bit character to it.
Yeah, it looks like it just might be kind of like little kind of flares on the font.
Or even like almost like a hand-drawn aspect to it. Like if you had a rougher paper or something. They really did a great job with it. I have to say, the clean aspect of it and the fully custom aspect just looks beautiful. You have this little story ad card here talking about the Jack of Spades and the little bit about the deck itself. And then this really cool ad card talking about the designer, Plan 52. Really just absolutely blew my mind with his deck, man. I gotta say, I was unexpecting. Hold on. Really gotta say, absolutely blew my mind with this deck, man. I was not expecting this one to hit me as hard as it did, but the artwork on this is just spectacular. The foil on this tuck pops so amazingly. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a shift here, and you can just see the light catching it, man, and it looks beautiful. As Steve would say, that is some amazing shimmer.
Dude, I dig the deck. You know, that's definitely a red deck that I could stand behind.
And I have to say, though, I think this one would look beautiful in like a nice sapphire blue as well, though.
I agree.
I think this one being like kind of a royalty, fun, kingdom-esque deck, they could really do all of those jewel tone colors. So an amethyst, a emerald, a ruby. Obviously, you have the ruby here, but like the sapphire and all of that would just look beautiful. You call the limited white edition diamond or something. It would really pop.
Yeah, Plan 52.
Blue,
sapphire. Get with it.
Yes, we would be on top of that in a minute. But the moment we have all been waiting for now. Steve, why don't you tell us what's coming in at number 1 this week?
Number 1 is not even released yet. And it is by Out of Play, and it is the Tempo deck, which is printed by USPCC on premium stock. It is unspecified print run, and we don't have the retail price, but we'll probably fall in around $18.
Nice, man. Let's check this thing out.
This tuck is on Doc Brown paper stock. It is matte and totally covered in gold foil. I absolutely love the gold foil and the brown together. It's two of my favorite colors, and it's littered with, specks of teal blue, which, brown and teal blue are just perfect together. Yeah, it has ad copy on the bottom. It's designed by Combo, which, this is a first that I'm seeing from him, and I'm sold. I'm a fan already. It is a mirrored back design. You see 2 music notes on either side, and the music notes that kind of surround that main music note is just a touch of perfection.
Yeah, they look really good.
Yeah, I mean, it handles beautifully. It is premium stock, but feels a little thicker. It kind of feels like bicycle stock. Handles beautifully, obviously, being USPCC. It does have matching jokers, one in yellow and one in blue. And looking at these jokers makes me feel like I'm in a blues or a jazz bar.
It's definitely got that old school music vibe to it.
Yeah, it has a really fun ace of spades, not your typical ace of spades, but really fun. And on all the number cards, you see kind of enlarged and shrunken down pips, kind of odd shapes, which I think is really, really cool. And it does have, these music notes kind of scattered throughout the face as well.
Nice.
Dude, these court cards, some of my favorite court cards that I've seen on a custom deck in a long, long time.
I can understand why, though. It looks beautiful. Kind of really gives that old school vibe.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that you would see on, the 1950s music posters for like festivals and different things like that, which I love. Yeah, this guy kind of looks like a villain. He looks like he has a mask on, and this one looks like, the Incredibles villain in the cartoon.
Nice.
Yeah, but these colors together, that teal blue, that yellow, and kind of a little bit of black just is a big hit.
Nice, man. No, it definitely looks good.
Yeah, it definitely kind of brings on a little bit of watercolor feel to me too. It's kind of like outside the lines and not sloppy, but kind of purposefully done.
Yeah, a
you know
little
what I
tricky
mean?
almost.
Yeah, and some of these face cards actually get a little busy. It's kind of hard to see what's going on, but I love the detail, dude. You have an ad copy card right here, and Tempo, a deck by Out of Play, and Combo. I hope I'm saying his name right or her name right. Dude, I'm a big fan of this deck, that's for sure.
I'm gonna say the only one thing that stands out to me is there's so much artwork on this, and I think where they dropped the ball is the aces, man. Other than that one ace, that ace of spades is gorgeous. I love the style of it. They could have kept that running through all the aces, and they would have had 3 other surfaces to build out some great artwork. This thing is beautiful, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, they did have a little bit of scratched off kind of inside the pip of the aces, and they are a little enlarged, which is cool, but I totally agree. It would have been cool to see some of that kind of style pulled off the court cards and added to the aces.
Absolutely. I think they could have done a lot with that and really kind of gone in the direction of bringing the music notes into it, bringing some of the colors into it, added a little bit of flair, even put some background styling to it a little bit as well.
Yeah, I think I would have been a little too much if they brought more music notes. I think it was a little music noted out.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. I mean, it is a music deck, so they're everywhere on that one, and I get that. But
yeah,
dude, absolutely a fun-looking deck, no question about it. Definitely comes in at a solid #1 this week. That brown, I agree with you. That brown and gold and a little bit of silver with the writing, beautiful looking.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next from Combo, and yeah, we'll see.
Okay. And now for everyone's favorite part of the show, this week's comment giveaway winner. So a big congratulations goes out to Reese Russell. You can check out their comment right down below. Reese is this week's mystery deck giveaway winner. So Reese, make sure to reach out and give us your address, and we'll get a mystery deck out to you as soon as possible. For everyone who's out there watching, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate all the support, and drop a comment down below and let us know what your favorite deck this week was, or what favorite deck you're playing with at home. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in.
Later.